Fuck, I was trying to get that screenshot up, and it was giving me all sorts of heck. Well, told you guys I'd be right back, and let me find some music to make sure this time it is not. Um, hmm. Maybe this one. This one for sure. Welcome to anybody that doesn't know me, and if this does show up in the future, welcome. This is Zen, and this is some scotch, and we will talk about. I don't know where I was going because I just did a video that I had to take down because I didn't want to fuck my channel up because I had music on in the background. Foiled by music. How is that ever supposed to happen? Hmm. Tiger Strong, are we live? I mean, what else would we be? No, no, no. We live right now. I just didn't want it to fuck my shit up. It's happened way too many times, and it happens on shit that it happened one time that it was my fault. One time where it was my fault. I fell asleep and I left music on. That was my fault. Even at that, I don't think it should have been. It still should have been taken down. But the rest of the strikes, claims, and blocks, pretty much dog shit. That's a fact. I forgive them. They've been, that shit's happened. What is up? I was gonna do story time, and I had such a build up during my last show to tell you guys about this great story. Well, I had three of them. One, see, now I feel like, see, this is why I could never do stand up comedy because I couldn't write the fucking material down and just repeat it. Like I'm only repeating the just the intro, which I didn't even really have in mind, but there was a build up to me telling these stories, and now I can't do it again because it's not the same. It's just not the same anymore. I had built into it some psychology and some other shit of these three things that occurred. One to do with etiquette at bars, and I went on to say I don't have much etiquette, morals, or type of belief of how anyone should act at a bar. But this was a kind of a little better fine dining establishment, and just like weird shit that occurs. And there was two stories that happened the same time I'm out eating, and then there was one about some talking to somebody like off of some fucking dating app or whatever, which is hilarious to me. Because I don't do that. I don't do that very often. I was like, yeah, let's see what the fuck happens. It's Christmas. Maybe somebody's trying to get laid. I don't know. Maybe I can make somebody's Christmas. More than one time I had a chick be like, I just want to fuck you because you look like Jesus. I was like, okay, if we must, but don't say anything. Don't say anything weird to me. Don't don't call me Jesus and don't call me Daddy. Then that's when I just pull the duct tape out right over the mouth. Just stop it. Don't talk now. Enough. So I'll try to continue on here in a moment or two. If you guys want to hear the stories, and you guys can let me know if these are if there's something personally, yeah, if there's something funny about these things. I mean, there's definitely something curious. I just don't know that I could tell it in a very very funny way. I think last show I was in there and I could have told you the stories in a very funny way. Now because I'm redoing it and I have to do it again and now I've lost all that momentum, it's the story is going to make much less sense. It'll still make sense, but we'll see which one I should start with. We're 5 minutes in. I'll wait till 7 minutes. I'm gonna go pour myself a beverage, and I'll wait till 7 minutes, and hopefully there's 7 people in here, and then I'll tell stories. And these, I think, I think there's there's somewhere in between a, dare I say, as um, as mentally acute as the way, say, Carlin or Mitch Hedberg might see the world. See, Mitch Hedberg was very, very intelligent, but he just came off in the hippity dippity way. Or if it's, or if, is there something very funny from a psychology, philosophy standpoint of how people, get by? That, like, just to me, I was like, okay. 7 minutes. I mean, we have 6 minutes now, but and you, Percy, you think I'm gonna get through? You think I'm gonna get through the stories that quickly, anyways? I can't rush through stories. I have no idea how long they take, man. I just meant 7 minutes in, which is 42 seconds away. That's what I meant. But if you hear, man, um, I just can't rush through the story. I don't know how to do that because I'm gonna babble and fumble and juggle a bunch of ideas at once. Because if I just tell the story, it probably won't. You know how people. Here's a good way to tell it. Do you know how some people, they'll just tell you a story and you're like, yeah, but why was that? Why was any of that important? Why was any of that funny? Why did I need to hear any of that? They don't fill in any of the logical gaps. Like they're like, I got on a bus and the machine was broken. So I gave him down and I sat down. They don't go through the funny parts, which is why the machine was broken, because a duck had got on the bus and shit in the thing, and when they gave him the dollar, they didn't have correct change. They don't tell any of that part of the story, which is the funny part. And then you're just looking at them going, what do you... Okay, so you got on a bus and the thing didn't work, okay? And then you have people that will tell you a story that is in the other direction ridiculous. Somebody that just over talks, but for no good reason. Like it's like they're reading off the lists of ingredients that you should buy to bake a cake. They're like, yes, I got up today, went and brushed my teeth. I took a shit. After that, I took a shower, because that's usually the correct order you do things. Then I got dressed, because why would you get dressed before you took a shower? Then I continue on and it is telling you the story. Okay, so thank you for giving me all the details, but what's going on here? That's the two types of people. They just skip over all the funny parts, or the people that tell you all the details without telling you what they're trying to get at and why that was so funny to them. People are like, oh, dude, this shit's so funny. I'm like, all right, where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? So here, with no further ado, here's my first encounter of the day. I decide to go to a nice restaurant because I queried people earlier, and if I should just drink whiskey by myself all day, or if I should just go solo dolo and go to a nice restaurant and just eat by myself, or if I should go to McDonald's and just fuck it, or just don't, you know what I mean, just have a day about it. So I decided to go to the nice restaurant, and this is the place because I live in New Orleans, and to be open on Christmas, it's usually pretty nice. Usually coming out the pocket. It's usually nice food. So I go to this place where it's you pretty much have to have reservations, and if you get lucky, you can sit down at the bar. And it's a very small bar. Only like 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 people can fit at the bar. It's set up really awkward. It's like that kind of place. Anyway, I sit down, and there's already 2 guys sitting at the bar. I say, what up to them? And I notice right away, speaking patterns, inflections, that I already know what's going on here. Now, as I'm ordering my drink, as I'm ordering my food, I have to listen to one phone call after another. We're at a bar inside of a nice restaurant where people are on holiday. People are around eating a nice dinner. It's not like dressed to the dimes. But this dude's sitting here on his phone, and one call after the other, he goes through the same dot 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 dot. Love you. Thanks for the blah. Send everybody the love and all of this. And this is not even the funny part yet. Cause already I'm like, am I gotta really sit here and listen to this dude get on the phone while we're sitting at a bar for the next hour? I certainly do. But the best part is when he makes a semi-private phone call where he doesn't want his friend to hear, but he kind of like whispering ish, even though I'm not eavesdropping. I'm sitting right fucking next to him. He asked the dude. I'm assuming it's a dude, just because of the way he was talking. I'm guessing at this. Just a wild stab in the dark. That if he was a hard body, this is what he says. As I'm sitting there, I'm just scooping food into my mouth, like he's sitting right next to me, and he says, "Are you a hard body?" And then he said something else, like there was even more an innuendo, sexually inappropriate, especially around dinner, family time. See, for me, I don't really care. I just like, really, dude. I was more offended that the dude was on his phone, and by offended, I mean, why are you on your phone, dude? Just walk outside. Nobody wants to hear your fucking conversation. If you want to have a conversation with the dude sitting next to you, there we go. That's fair. But you don't get to give half the conversation, which is talking about, excuse me, buddy, you fucking hard body. I was like, okay, you want to go have your fucking, go fucking whack off in the bathroom having this conversation? Or do I want to hear about you going on auto repeat about, have a nice day, thanks for the presents, can't wait to see you guys, like 7 times? That's when I walk in the bar. Now, as soon as they leave, there's a table sitting against the wall. And their conversation becomes even more hilarious to me. I'm already giggling about this. And now I'm just really thoroughly enjoying my food. I'm enjoying the food the whole time because it's really, really good food. All of a sudden, these 3 people, I can't tell how well they knew each other. I think they had to know each other. Maybe they were not. Maybe they just weren't joining their family for dinner. Maybe they were just I couldn't really tell. I couldn't make that out from the conversation. You know how that's an important thing. But what they started talking about is people. They were talking about gender changes and how it's a very people that get their gender changed. It's more than just, and it's this guy who's seems to have a rational perspective on sexes and genders and what that means, and somehow he's giving a kind of a trying to say, well, 50 years ago this isn't even a conversation, 100 years ago, 1,000 years ago, other animals not having this conversation, but now. And then there's this emotional girl, and then somebody else that's kind of just on the sideline, kind of chiming in every now and then. And so now I'm sitting there during Christmas meal, which again I don't care about. I think it's fucking hilarious, but like this is the kind of shit people talk about. Like that was what was important to them to figure out, which I don't think any of them were participating in getting their genitals mutilated. And they were getting into like the psychology of it, and oh, it's more emotional than you'd know. Well, maybe they should deal with the emotions before they start cutting off body parts. I don't know, but hey, let me not put my 2 cents in on the whole the humor of it. Even though that might be funny if I did, so I could add that part too. That's so yeah. So there's 2 in a matter of an hour. Here's another funny one. So. Some chicks hit me up on some dating app, so I was like, all right, let's see what's up today. I've dated maybe 3 times in the past 3 years off of them. To me, it's just like something to do once in a while. I'm like taking a shit. It's like flip through these things. Oh, cool. This might match. Who knows? Whatever. So a couple chicks like text me. I was like, oh, Christmas time. Maybe someone's gonna get dicked down today. Maybe I'm getting lucky. Maybe they're getting lucky. Who the fuck knows? Let me find out. Easy, because I don't gotta go out. Like everybody's out, they're probably with their family. I can't. So I'm just like, let me see what happens. So like in this conversation, this chick's like, hey, what's going on? And it was said like she's like 800 miles from here, but blah blah blah. Like she's from New Orleans. It's like, so are you visiting family, or is your family visiting here? I don't get what you're saying. She's like, oh no, I'm visiting family in whatever city, but I live in New Orleans. That's where I'm from. That's where she's from, and I can verify this because she's got Instagram, right? So I know she lives here. So so I can verify she's a human. And so we're texting back and forth a little bit, and she goes, the first thing she says to me, she's like, "You're very, very handsome." First thing she says to me, I was like, "Oh, thank you. That's appreciate that." And we starts talking to me, start going back and forth, and she goes, "So what about you? What are you into? What do you?" And I was like, "How to explain it?" I was like, "I teach people about health and well-being and the planets and fasting and what do you need to know?" And I was like, "I'm a walking dictionary or something." I say something, I'm a walking encyclopedia. And she kind of laughs, blah, blah, blah. So we're going back and forth. We go back and forth to the point of, I don't know. It's been a while where she's asking me questions that are like outside of, like, their first date questions. But I was like, we ain't on a date. You're asking me things that are gonna take me 10 minutes to explain. What things do you love? What things, what's your life? I'm like, how am I gonna text you this? I don't. My thumbs. It's gonna take me 4 hours. And so I say, listen, I'm a Gemini. I like to be communicative and I like to speak to people. Like, I like that to be communication. You can learn more in 10 minutes of communication you can in 10 hours of text. You can learn more in 10 seconds of eye contact than you can in even 10 minutes of communication, right? So I kind of say that, and then she goes, "Just so you know, I'm I'm definitely not looking to I'm 100%. I'm definitely something not trying to hook up." And I was like, "Okay." She's like, "So," she's basically like getting at like, "So how do you feel about friendship or whatever?" I was like, what do you mean? How do I feel? Friendship's cool." Is like, "But so like." You've already said I already said she was pretty. She already said I'm pretty. I was like, "Do you think I'm swiping through on a dating app to find people I'm gonna not be attracted to and not want to have sexual relations with?" I was like, "I could walk down the street and find friends that look like anything, that just because of their energy I'm gonna be their friends. But like, you already know that if we hang out, I'm gonna spit game to you. So what?" I was like, I mean, I'm okay with being friends. Like, if we meet out and we find out like this is not vibe, like on a sexual level, oh, we could still be friends. And the response was, instead of, so I had to go through typing basically all of that. I would love to read it, but that's just, you know, I pretty much accomplished saying, "We're on a fucking dating app. What do you mean? I swiped right, you swiped right. The first thing you said is you're good looking, and we went through this whole thing." She said, "Oh, you sound so interesting. I can't wait to meet you. Yeah, I'm gonna be back in town on Sunday. We should hang out." And then afterwards, "But you should know I'm definitely not trying to hook up." I was like, "Well, I'm not trying to hook up, but like, this is a dating app, right? I didn't choose men and women that want to be friends. That's not what I chose, because the dating app is not for meeting people to have coffee with, to be friends with. It was to date and see if you're going to end up fucking. I guess is the simple way to put it." and her response was no after that. After a pretty long conversation, a little back and forth. And I was like, so she was real to tell me like I am not down to fuck even, but my response was inappropriate. I don't know. People are weird, man. People are fucking weird. And so, see, now in hindsight, if I was playing the game, I would have been like, oh no, that's cool, of course. Yo, sit down, let's have some whiskey, and I'm gonna slide up in them guts. Fact. Why didn't I do that? Because I thought I'd be honest. Honesty gets you nowhere in this world. If I was like, "Oh yeah, of course, build a strong foundation in a friendship. Of course we should do that." I mean, who's just trying to enjoy themselves in this crazy world? Not that that's what, but the answer should have been that. "Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, like, okay. Learn my lesson. Learn my lesson to be myself and tell the truth. It's gonna get you nowhere. I mean, that's, I take that back. It's got me plenty of great things in life. But so there's my three stories that I could probably ad-lib a little more if anybody thought that was curious or funny. I don't know. The Percy, the duck was on crack on a skateboard. Ah, Cymatics, you married? No shit. What up, Gary? Yeah, yeah. She ain't gonna blow, so it's not gonna go. I mean, the thing is, she seemed she's very very pretty, and I'm guessing by her like you know how you catch someone's attitude that we would have got along in public. We would have gotten along as people. We probably would have actually made love and had a good relationship. But like she was trying to be too instructive or something. I couldn't really get the like what she was getting at with the like you're talking to a motherfucker on a dating app. What do you expect? Yeah. And it wasn't about like fucking right now. If she was like, hey, let's go out and just have some drinks and be weird, cool. I mean, you think I'm not gonna be like, you're super sexy? Do you want to come back to my house and see what happens? You know, no, I don't think I've ever really said those words. I don't think I've ever, maybe once or twice. Usually I wait for a chick to be like, so where do you live? Bink. Um, come follow me. Yeah, Percy. Yes, thank you. It's hard work, man. Yeah, digital. You know how many relationships, and in fact, good ones that I've had have been like good to great relationships that I've had that just it got eaten away at because of miscommunication over text. Like at least in person, if you say something dumb or shitty, you can kind of deal with it, and you can kind of deal with like a fucking fight or a blowout, and kind of like, oh man, that came off wrong. I'm sorry, or yeah, that was stupid, and you kind of get over it, and you deal with it momentarily. But when so you do it on the phone, somebody can read it anyway. It's the Key and Peele skit. Just go watch the Key and Peele skit about like people not understanding over text. So I'm like, texting is the worst, most basic bullshit that ruins shit. And it also allows people to be sneaky. Just use an emoji. Oh, emoji here, emoji there, emoji there, and just kind of that's aloofness. That's goofy. And then if you type too much, I don't know. Then if you try to call someone, oh, they can't talk. How the fuck can't you talk? What the fuck is going on? It's so goddamn important you can't put the phone up to your ear. Because these motherfuckers, they know how to talk in restaurants. See, tie it back to the beginning of the conversation. Um, oh, sigh. There you go. Yeah, I probably if she was here and we went out, I'm sure. But speaking of speaking of dumb shit to do, let me find out. Let me find out what else is going over here. It's so silly, man. Yeah, there's just such ridiculously easy access to the next thing that nothing gets developed to any point worth having. And so everybody thinks that society and culture is this, which it has become in many ways, is this throwaway culture that it doesn't really matter. Just move on. They're gonna be the same way. Don't worry about that. That's not just that's not that's that didn't happen a long time ago because you'd had to. What are you doing? You send somebody mail over horseback to another village, and it takes 4 days to get there, and you have to scribble it out. I mean, that's important. You know, there's something there. There's also crazy there too. At least you can find out right away if someone's super fucking nuts. You'd be like, nope. Imagine finding out after going back and forth over horseback for 2 months, and then finally meeting them, and all of a sudden seeing they're fucking batshit crazy. And then now you're like, could I'd take back all those letters. At least now it's like, nah, fucking block. There was a happy medium at some point. I don't remember where it was, but it does exist. Anyways, yeah, there's really no good to go. There's no good way to go about it. It's like the phone has become access to an easy way out of being at all vulnerable to the world, to all have any like true experience. Because anytime you need, I gotta get the fuck out of here. Fucking Uber. He's like, bitch, get the fuck away from me. Here, I got you an Uber. Like it just the immediacy of things makes people so like lack development of any character, any matter of truth, any like looking a little deeper into that. Hey, I'm pretty sure the right person doesn't just show up. There's no right person. There's relationships are there's work and there's fights and there's ups and downs and this and that. Yeah, I mean, obviously the good ones shouldn't have as much, but they should be for important reasons. Because then but if you can develop beyond that, but then everybody else is like, nah. Let me check my watch. We got somewhere to be. Fuck this. Next one. Next. It's like a fucking fast food line for fucking. Hey, I understand. You know, if you got it like that, and that makes you satisfied. If you satisfied eating, if you satisfied eating drive-through burgers your entire life, fucking have at it. But I can cook. I'm an alchemist. I like fine dining. I like things that takes an effort, and it because there's something there that's not in a goddamn drive-through burger. And you know what it takes to learn how to do that? You know what it takes to make a fucking McDonald's burger? It takes someone going, hello, I'd like to order a McDonald's franchise. Yep, we'll set that right up for you. Poof, franchise. What do they do with the burger? Frozen. Throw it on the fucking grill. You good. There's all done. Eat it. Get out of here. See you later. Next. Or hey, can you make me the finest, you know, beef stroganoff ever? And use filet mignon, and you use, you know, how you going to learn? You better find somebody who knows how to cook. They're gonna have to go to that institution to learn how to cook. They're gonna have to work for years. They're gonna have to know how a kitchen works. Then you have to go and they're gonna have to find the best ingredients, and they're gonna have to go and source them themselves. That's a whole different thing. I don't know. It's so funny. I've been with some people that I didn't think were drive-through. Just call them drive-through bitches. You know, I knew I dated a couple of chicks that were like drive-through hoes. Like whatever. Okay, I knew I seen that coming. You know, that's no fault of mine. It's no fault of theirs. It's just where they are in life. But a couple I dated was like, this is not drive-through. There's something extra here. And yet no, because it was easy enough to just fall back into the phone and go, fuck it. There's a bigger world out there. If I go to go to another city. It's so funny when you live in normal cities. If you've been to normal cities, you know what I mean. Like you've got the suburb. If you know what a suburb is, any place you go, the suburbs are set up in exact same fashion. They print those bitches. And if you go to most cities, they're set up very similar. If you've been to one city, you can get around them most. But then there's some places you cannot, that you can't figure out because they're not like something here is not like the other. So when people are like, I'll just go to a new city, and people think they can go to a new city and find the new thing. No, you're gonna find copy paste of everything else that you've dealt with, unless of course there's a few different cities, states, towns, area codes. You can find them; they're around, but it's not. You can't just go to like the normal. Welcome to the 30 greatest cities on the map. Like I don't know. No. Same people, same identities. Well, where should we go from here? 30 minutes in. Would you like the fries with that? Thank you, Gary. Would you like some fries with that? Uh-huh. Nowness and nothingness. Yeah, people don't care anymore. The value of nowness and nothingness instead of nonsense. But that's difficult. That's difficult to grasp. It's like you know how you could look back on some of the stupid things you've done and when you fucked up and you go, oh man, if I would have known what I know now, and you're like, oh, if I could apologize for that, you never get an opportunity. You'll never be able to apologize to the people that you need to apologize to, and the people that should be apologizing to you will never have a chance to apologize to you either. Either because they'll never be able to, or they just don't know how to, because they don't understand what that the essence of character and immediacy is, of what that is that some people have that other people just they don't fucking have it. I don't know what it is, but you know it when you see it. You just recognize it. Some places it's the difference between go walk around, look at the zombies, empty eyes, soulless, nothing there, and then the people they got that shit. If you fuck it up with the empty-eyed people, like okay, whatever, they're never gonna notice anyways. But when you fuck up with the people that are like, oh, they have glowing eyes, then you're like, ugh. But when other people, if they do wake up to it, they go, oh no, now I remember why his eyes were glowing. Yeah. I do sometimes wonder, because a lot of people like to evaluate, and value things based upon numerical systems. Um, I'm not one of them because you can never really distinguish quality within such a system. But you can use a general rule here. If you look through your life and said how many people have you assisted, how many people have you been not an assistance to? How many people have helped you and some people have fucked you? Like those are the four major things. But then you have values within there. But if you look through that and you go like, how many people should I really apologize to? How many times was it just you know, a misunderstanding on either part? How many times was it really just you being a dick or them being a dick? How many times, if you went through that and you could evaluate like your scorecard for life, there's a couple good shows on that. It's always something that's funny to me. But I'm like, I don't, I don't know, but I think I'd be plus if plus is good, I'd be +1. I don't know what the top would be, and I don't know what the bottom would be at. Well, I'd be closer to 0. I'm just 0 out of this shit. That way I mean neither realm. I don't fucking know. But I do want, because there's a lot of people that see the world in that way. It's that tit for tat culture. It's that the you know, but I gave you this, so you should give me that. I mean, yeah, kind of, but I've always tried to term it this way: if someone had $100 and they gave you 99 of it, versus somebody that had a million and gave you 200, who really cares more? You know, it's like there's just a different, like, I think the easiest way to put it is it's not who provides you a time when they have it, but people that make time for you even if they don't have it. I thought that was a better way of putting it. So this would be the easy. I guess even though do they say it today? Do you think on the islands? Do you think they say I'm gonna probably slaughter it, but somebody knows how to say it. I'm gonna spell it first. Okay. Somebody's got to know what I'm gonna say here. It's called Ho'oponopono, or Ho'oponopono. You gotta. It doesn't roll off my lips well because it's just not my native language. Because I can say other things that basically mean the same thing. I could say it in English, but it just takes longer. It doesn't sound as good. But if anybody doesn't know it, maybe I should just put the. Is there like a way for the wiki to say it? Is there? Can you do that? Does that work? How to translate it? It's the practice of reconciliation and forgiveness. Yeah. Yeah. Anybody know it? I like there's a few other cultures that use it's the same thing. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Hopo nopo. Oh, I can't get the last opo out, but because it's too many oponoponos. Yeah, let's try. Let's see if it works this way in other cultures. Because obviously the Hawaiians are not the only one to do that. They're just, and I don't think living there you'd ever have to do that. You know what though? The people that are really from there, they will never say that to the white man that came through and stole the land from the queen. But that's a whole nother. What's up, John Shamanic? What's up, Bree Dunn? Ah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I think that's a good tool in your arsenal. I think the most prior tool, which is why the second one is there, um, is your authenticity. That's not to say to be true. That's not to say to be any. I don't know what that means to anyone. I don't know how they go about their life. It's like to be angry if you need to be happy if you want to. If you're angry and you know it, clap your hands. If you're angry and can you be angry and can you say that and sing that song that way? Would you even be would you then turn happiness into anger? Could you even possibly do that? And what would that mean anyways? That's just fucking with it. Um, what's up, Kaylee Thanos? So I mean, there's something about like, there's something about it'll take you as long. Let me see if I can explain it this way. There was this great Zen Buddhist teacher, and usually, for you to understand something, it will take you. It'll take you a while. You'll have to go through practices and do this and that, and to learn mathematics, you'll get some answers wrong, you'll get some right, and you'll get this, and the teacher had said that to understand Zen, it'll take you 3 seconds or 30 years, and I mean that. And so people that are always attempting to find the answer are not being the answer. And it's not to say there's somebody has a question. It's not to say it's like what is the essence of whatever it is? It'd take most people, 10 lifetimes, if that even really exists, to figure it out because they're too busy on trying to figure it out, whatever it is. Yeah. There's so many ways to simply describe it, but the other way to say it is a fool in his folly will become wise, meaning that you can make the same mistake 1,000 times and then finally you don't, and that's the point that you'll get it. But does that does it make someone more wise to figure it out the first time? I don't know. What are they supposed to understand? What are they supposed to get? Hmm. Ah, yeah, there you go. True more acceptance of self. Yeah, and what is that? What is that? A lot of people they talk that game. They talk that game. You must understand yourself and all is love. Bitch, don't give me that shit. When I say bitch, I'm talking about it in the full spectrum of bitch. Dudes can be bitches too. It's all these cats on here. Love and light, and you'll find self, and you are the glory of all God's creation. Yeah, we got that, but where's the shadow work? Hmm? Have you done that shadow work yet? Have you figured out your own shadow? Where'd it go? Where is it? Is it spooky? Is it what's coming up behind you? Are you scared of the nighttime? You know, this kind of shit, man, where nobody deals with that at all. Man, some of us grew out of shit. Like we've done literally plant us, we grow. Like here we are. What? And so when people, it's like when you come out of poverty, you grew out of shit and you become a blossom or a flower. And maybe you earn a silver spoon. But if you're given a silver spoon, then when you go into what is considered, something that is dark or shadow or not so bright or not so whatever, then that silver spoon won't protect you. You can't feed yourself with a silver spoon in a So that's the difference in the world, really. Like people that ain't really ever been down and just fucked up and like sick or pained or hurt or you know take your bumps and bruises, y'all. That's some of the shadow work, and the other part of the shadow work is to just go. I accept that I've been hurt before. I accept that I've hurt people. Go through that. That's hoponopono. That's all the OPs. It's only it's funny to me because I've only said that a few times, and it was to one time was to a native speaker, and the other time was to somebody that lived there for a while, and they're like, "How the fuck did you say that right? And why did you say it to me?" I was like, "I have no idea." It's like I can't speak certain dialects unless I'm around those people, so I'm guessing nobody in here speaks. Ah, Percy, yeah. Fiery passion gets misconstructed as anger. Yeah, of course. Well, I mean, come on, you're fire, Leo. Oh yeah, certainly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I've had Leos, but the only Leos that I've had a problem with were people that were falsely in authority places. Like, uh, like I had a couple friends growing up with Leos and a couple like parents, blah blah blah. Like people like families members that were falsely in those places of where that I don't hang. It's like people always go. Um, Whenever somebody has a problem with authority, like nah, you all just abusing it. Get the fuck off your high horse, cocksucker. Come down here to the fucking ground level. Take your suit of armor off. Throw your badge down, and then we'll see. See, that's my attitude towards everybody that always acts like extra with it, and that has been for as long as we can see what we've dealt with in culture. A bunch of false fire gods, and those false fire gods, as I was just alluding to with you, is people that got iron and they got steel and they got badges and they got where did that come from? Smiths, silversmiths, and all the smiths that made the money because they took the money they took it from the land and the people and blah blah blah, and then they made all the armor to protect themselves from their own delusions, insanity, ignorance, and overbearing in power to protect themselves from death, which they could never do because like the darkness, like the Illuminati coming through. I mean, whatever, like coming through the night, like that doesn't. What was it Nietzsche say? Like darkness comes in the dead of the night, like a that whole whatever that fucking thing is. But it just yeah, man. So I mean, that's the negative side. The positive side to Leo is like, fuck, they'll keep the fire lit. They're ready to go. They fight for anything, and that's the quality part of them. Which most of most of my life I've played sports with those people, but because I was on teams with them, their power wasn't used as some sort of right. So find teams that have Leos on the team. I bet you could figure that out right away. I would guess if anybody's into sports, I could guess a few of them right now, even though I never studied it like that. Anyways, let me see who's up in here. Oh yeah, what's up, Alexandra? ODD, yeah, I think I did. Yeah, oh, it's called odd. To be odd is oppositional defiance disorder. Yeah, I wrote a piece a long time ago on that. I think it's fucking hilarious. How did they get the word odd out of it? The person's very odd. Well, why shouldn't someone like be opposed? Why shouldn't someone oppose? You know? What are they defying? Defying what? What do they defy? The authority of the establishment? That's the trick. That's the trick in every. That's why psychology is the dumbest. It's not the dumbest shit because it can be used to help people, but the when it was initially created and what was created for was to delude people, to dilute their minds and to make them believe that they were all crazy and that they didn't know any better, but the people that were in charge knew. And so they had the operators of the system behind that were instructed, here's the books to tell them. I mean, the Bible is no different. I oppose the idea of I oppose the Quran. I oppose the Bible. I oppose Allah. I oppose Jesus. I oppose all of these. I mean, I'm just saying that. I really don't. I'm just saying if someone says that, you don't believe in this, and your parents get pissed at you, the preacher gets pissed at you, then all of a sudden, well, I don't believe in the state. The state is an institution, right? I equally don't believe in that. Now, are you opposed to that? It doesn't mean I just don't believe in it. Having no belief in something is not equivocating to not having. Let me try this again. To not have obedience to something does not mean that it's that you're opposed to it. It means do you. You do that thing over there. I'm good over here. It's disobeying and disavowing. There's a bunch of people who said, if a law is unjust, you're actually beyond justified, and if you don't disobey it, then you are a fool. What are these? You know. I mean, I ain't gonna tell anybody to break laws just for no reason. There ain't no laws you can break. It's all different terms, but I mean, you get what I'm getting to. You get the concept. But yeah, the ODD shit is stupid. Oppositional defiance disorder. That's one of the dumbest ones I've ever fucking heard in my life. Yeah, the hierarchy. Yeah, the hierarchy bullshit. Well, I mean, what if the people that are pulling the strings? What if they're very, very, very not only wrong but abusive and disconcerting and not and controlling things in a way that damages the entire system. And in fact, that's what we're looking at right now. Why do you think most of the system falls apart? They have to rebuild it. Most of the infrastructure of the entire world is falling apart because the people that are apparently in control have no idea what the fuck they're doing with anything. They didn't know what they were doing with the ancient technology. They still don't. They got people like doing everything they can to like. I mean, they're just like putting out fires because they don't know what the fuck to do with people that are fire beings. You know, it's. I mean, I hear you on the staying true to the land. I just take it one step further, and I was like, you know what? If you go to the land and stay true to the land, the people that need the most help, they'll never make it. They'll never make it. Give me 1 second. I must refill the goblet of fire. Okay. There it is. Where are we at? What are we talking about here? And so let me finish what I was saying. I take it one step further too, as well, on the land thing. The land is not just like, oh, there's the field. Let's go build it. Let's go put a tent up, and you know, that dismisses the fact that this shit, this infrastructure that was built on this, is still, it's still part of the land. It still is. You know, and in fact, it's used the land, so it's even more organized in a way. And even the people that don't know what the fuck to do with it, because there's a lot of people that don't know how to do. How many times I've walked into office buildings or walked into certain places and I'm like, y'all don't. How do you not even know how to feng shui this place? How is this set up this way? How are your cords sitting like this? And I'm just like, how is your business still running? Still runs somehow, but for me, I'm like, it's so like, I could walk in every day. I could walk into a building, and I'd be like, do these 5 things, and I guarantee your business will run smoother, and you'll make more money, and everybody will be happier. Anywhere, go to a fucking bodega, clean this fucking store up. Here, I'll tell you what to do. I'll put here's $10,000. Here's how to fix the store. Here, I walk into a place that has a bunch of extra reserves. Here, you're. Okay, why don't you have a plant right here? Why do you have... Okay, can you clean the air up? And all of a sudden, you know... And why do you got everybody working these hours? Why can't the person come in at this hour? Like, what do you need? You know, there's too many... Man. And that's just from a business angle. You know how simple business is? It's too simple. But it's using the same principles as the natural principles. It's just using it. It's using a different mathematical code. The mathematical code for the mathematical code. Can I say this out loud? Yeah, because nobody will get it. For the natural world is 1.618 to infinity. The code for the artificial, unnatural environment, and it's not really unnatural, it's just artificial, built by man, so the more masculine in nature, is 3.14 pi. Pi is the code to the matrix and squares, and 1.618 or phi or pi, or how do you say how do you spell it? Pi and phi, phi and phi or phi and p or p pi. So you need to get just fucking the words up now. But those are the 2 principles. They both go to infinity. What's the difference? It's the coding. And those codes will give you 2 different ways of creating, you know, lines, objects. But everything that you see is normally built upon a different mathematical scale. Even the octaves are done wrong on a piano. You could build a better system of a piano. It would sound more in harmonic. It's not just changing it's not just changing middle C from 440 to 432. You'd have to find out how it's when something gets metronome's cube, and when people tell you that we live in this holographic matrix where everything just multiplies and becomes a mimicry of itself, that still is within the boundaries of the principle of mathematics that only mimics itself. It doesn't grow. But in nature, every time something grows, every time something flowers out, it gets bigger. So when you look at the flower of life, it's the same size circles. In the real world, it's not. Every time you go out a realm, it gets bigger. And that mathematics is applied to natural world, not what they're trying to mimic. But they couldn't figure out how to mimic that because the computers, they were using a binary system. You would need a trinary system or somebody that really is good into coding to figure out how to make something that grows out expressly. How to put this? I mean, you got to do it in Q. I mean, I'm sure it's already been done, but they just hide it. I mean, shit. Are we not living in a simulation? So I'm not gonna go too far into that right now because I feel like that's way too math right now. And just I'll cut that I'll cut that part off there at phi and pi. Alexandra, there you go. Definitely do not consent. And it's pseudo authority. Yeah. What's up, Divine Hazel? I've never looked it up, but I'll check it out. I'll look into it. I mean, I always figured that it was backwards mapping something because he didn't exist, but let me look at it real quick. I don't see it right off the bat. I'll look at it a little later, man. I'm staring at my phone and I don't want to be doing that. Okay. Divine Hazel. Oh, John, you were listening to. Are you talking about? Oh, were you reading on the WordPress about the hacking of the original languages? Yeah, dig in. I'll get into that. I mean, I guess my brain is already pretty primed after I went through that with that coding there. I couldn't get all the languages out there. So we probably will do, if you all... Oh, the flower of life on the thumbnail. Interesting that I'd put it there. Because we were just talking about the flower of life. And how it's not in... It's a good way to grow something, but it's still not doing it proper. You know, how the realms were you know... Even the way targets are made and bullseyes and shit, there should be a growth to every single realm out of that, and you could use the principles of every 7 years, so 7 years, 49 years, or that might not be the right one. That might be too expansive. You'd have to think about the exact math on that one if you want to really build a system on a flat landscape outwardly. But it has something to do with the shape of the spiral. But even the shape of the spiral, most of the time, they're yeah. I'll do the math sometime. I gave up math. I could just draw it. I'm drawing it, and then somebody else like, oh, there's the math right there. All right, as I was getting at, so I think tonight, if y'all want to join, I probably will wake up and do an eclipse broadcast. Anybody know the time? I think it's supposed to, my time, I think it's supposed to be 2 o'clock. At the peak of it. Like right now, I think it's already happened. Is anybody in Europe that can see this? Anybody over there? I think it already started to happen for you guys. No, it starts at like 8 or something. and then it should peak at like two for me, which is I don't know what time for you guys. I don't know what the time. I forget what the time looks like. Alexandra, the what is happening? Okay, okay. Percy, thank you. Yeah. Okay, I got you. Yeah. I remember one time I was putting this dude David onto the connection between Tesla and well, I mean it was Tesla, the rodent coil, and who was the third one? Oh man, I'm gonna have to find the video because it was so good. And I was using the Bucky Fuller, um, the Buckyball, the Buckyball carbon, which is the Buckyball. So it's a certain form of carbon apparently. Then three sixes and nines. Oh, which were connected to um, the what are the three major oils in the body, right? Omega three sixes and nines, and then the carbon, and then one other thing. And I was making a connection there. I think he figured it out because yeah. Oh yeah, it is. That's what you're saying is happening. The eclipse. Yeah, go check it out. I think it's over where you guys. I can't. I'll go look outside right now. It said that we can't see it here, but I'm gonna look anyways. Did nothing good going out there. But it's supposed to be really crazy. Did nobody look at this? There's supposed to be a ring of fire because of how where the discs are sitting, or apparently, according to because we live in a flying in space and it's at a different, but there should be at the apex of it or the fulcrum, whatever you want to use there. There's supposed to be a ring of fire around the outside, and you'll be able to see it. So anybody that is a Wolf of London, check that shit out. I don't know that we can see it anywhere in the on stateside. So, if you guys can take a picture, that'd be great. I think it'd probably be early for you because there is no moon. It's a new moon right now, and then that's passing in front of the sun, which is a funny one. How's that working for you, Divine Hazel? What did you do with your hair? I know, right? One sec, I'll be right back, y'all. Oh, oh shit. So funny. So, it's 7. Oh, ain't no halves. Yo, that's yeah. Are you digging that? You digging the shit out of that, huh? That's I mean that's a old school. That's old school hip hop. One of the greatest, Big Daddy Kane. But that is something that ain't no half. I'm telling you, that shit goes so hard. And it's not just the cook too. Like I mean, he's really rapping a little bit in there. Like not just a little bit, like a lot bit. So check it out, yo. Um, I have to. Oh, John, did you just upload a video a second ago? You did. Well, fuck it. I have to go take the dog out. I'm gonna take a shit. I'm not gonna take a shit. I'm gonna leave it somewhere. I don't know where I'm gonna leave it yet. Maybe it'll be a surprise for someone tomorrow. And take the dog out, and then I want to get back on here because this has been fun. If you'd all like to join me again, I will be properly lubricated by then and slightly intoxicated for all of your mental quizzes and puzzles for me to solve or to assist in solving. And we'll go from there. So it's 7 o'clock on the dot right now, my time. Anybody else should go listen to John's. I'm gonna go listen on the way as I'm taking a walk and leaving a shit. And after his video, I don't know how long it is. How long is it? If it's half an hour, I'll see y'all when you're done listening to him. If you want to come back, you don't have to. I won't be upset. But I certainly will attempt to do a talk later. But I will probably be back in about like 30 minutes. Because the dog is doing the thing where she's like rolling around the couch where she wants to get up and do something, but she's being lazy. Do you want to go outside? Yeah. You should. I fucking love it when she does this. She like rolls around in her back and is like, rah. Are you here? Okay. So I'm gonna see you guys. Smoke a bowl, howl at the moon, do all your shit, and we'll talk in. I'll be back in like 30 minutes, and if you guys are not. Well, fuck you. I love you anyways. And we'll see you soon. And go listen to John. I'm going to go listen to John too. Peace. Harmonics. Wholeness. Everything. Nothing. Squares. Circles. Triangles. Holy shit, there's so much to be had. And go get drunk or something. Or don't. Do drugs if you have to. Bye.